Hey everybody, this is Brian here. We're going to be doing the third part of the top 100 songs countdown list. We're going to enter right in at number 21, and that's going to be Santeria by Sublime. This has always been one of my favorite songs, period. I love to play the solo. It's short and to the point and succinct. I think that it's one of the best solos in all of alt rock. I actually have a family member who named one of their kids after Bradley. I think that Santeria, or not Santeria, I think that Sublime is one of the most unique bands in all of 90s music and in all of alt rock, period. They have this unique fusion of reggae with alt rock and almost with a little bit of rap in there sometimes. But I think that just I don't know. There's no other song in music that really sounds anything like this to me. It's just so unique, and there's so very few songs that you can actually say that about. Most of the, most of music sounds kind of exactly the same, that same kind of 12 bar blues thing repeated over and over again. Uh, Number 22 on here, I had a hard time picking which Nirvana song I wanted to put on here, but I ended up going with Heart Shaped Box. Heart Shaped Box, I think, is one of the heaviest Nirvana songs, and it also has the best video. Kurt Cobain is just so into it, and I think that this song, even though the lyrics are a little bit hard to interpret, at least for me, I think that this song, just through the emotion that it carries a tremendous meaning just through the instrumental vibe that it puts out, even without being able to completely understand Kurt Cobain's lyrics. I actually heard an interview from Kurt Cobain one time where he was saying, like, why do all of the people in the media try to come up with second rate Freudian evaluations of my lyrics through incorrect transcriptions? And those are pretty much his words, not mine. So I'm gonna go on the emotions that the guitar and the drums and just the choreography and direction and the video, all of the things that puts out. I'm gonna go on that instead of the lyrics. I can understand some of them, but they're a little hard to put together, as is kind of the case for Nirvana. That's kind of, I guess, what Weird Al's parody of "Smells Like Teen Spirit." Most of it was based around the premise that it was a little bit hard to understand the Nirvana songs. Okay, but Heart Shaped Box is an awesome song, and the video is awesome too. Speaking of awesome music videos, Michael Jackson, nobody tops him in terms of awesome music videos. Um, this one is actually not going to be the entry I'm going to pick for Michael Jackson as my favorite song at number 23 isn't going to be one of the, like, Billie Jean or Thriller or something like that. It's going to actually be Remember the Time. I think that this song is so catchy and it always gets stuck in my head. I haven't seen the music video for it, but I'm sure that if there is one, it's probably pretty awesome. I think this is one of the ones that he did a little bit earlier on before some of the plastic surgeries and media scandals. But nevertheless, I think that only makes it even better. Um, Less distractions in his personal life to interfere with the music. Number 24 on here is actually going to be from the Moody Blues, and it's going to be a tie. It's going to be a tie between Ride My Seesaw and Nights in White Satin. And I don't know if you would really call this an underrated band. They have quite a bit of recognition, but I don't feel like they're as often remembered as they should be. Both of these songs are totally awesome. I love the psychedelicness of Ride My Seesaw, and it almost I think that Nights in White Satin almost proceeds into operatic territory. It's almost like a classical piece. Number 25 on here is going to be one of my favorite artists in all of art, not just music, but if you ask me who the best artist in human history is, I would have to say Neil Young. And that's just a personal opinion. But my favorite Neil Young song is this one. It's Don't Let It Bring You Down. I think there's so few pick me ups in all of music. Most things are meant to make it so you associate depression with being the norm. But Don't Let It Bring You Down is actually the exact opposite. And I feel that as a person who suffered with depression in the past, I think that Don't Let It Bring You Down is a song that I can relate to and I can appreciate. I think that it's a pick me up is a valuable commodity in music, is how I would put it. Let's get down to number 26, which is actually going to be Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young, which is Sweet Judy Blue Eyes. There was quite a few other ones on here like Triad or Guinevere that I could have put, but Sweet Judy Blue Eyes, it almost has an Eastern feel. And though the lyrics are a little hard to understand, the variety of instruments in here, I think, carries this song onto a recognizable and unique feeling that, again, a lot of songs don't reach. Most songs kind of they have that same formulaic feel to them, and they carry that same topic about relationships or self-deprecation. Number 27 on here is going to be a Van Morrison song. It's going to be Mama Told Me That There'd Be Days Like This. And I think that this song actually can be interpreted in a variety of ways. It's almost like it begins where she told him that there'd be days where everything kind of went off without a hitch. And then towards the end, it's like he was remembering during a harder day that Mama had told him that there would be days like this where pretty much everything was going wrong and he was having really, really shitty luck. And I didn't even realize that until I'd listened to it a few times. But I think that so is the depth in Van Morrison's songwriting. Number 28 on here is going to be my favorite guitarist, just from a personal level, of all time, and that's Jimi Hendrix. And that's Voodoo Child's Slight Return. I just think that this song is a fucking masterpiece. I actually uploaded a cover of it on my channel on electric guitar. And I have kind of an audio sensitivity thing, so it's kind of hard for me to play with an amplifier because my amp has like volume jumps where it's from like Simon and Garfunkel to Megadeth in 0 to 3. Let me just check my time because like I'm recording back in 2006 where it's almost like it's quick time recording still, and I have like 12 minutes to record. Um, Anyways, but yeah, Voodoo Child Slight Return is one of Hendrix's just most all out masterpieces. The solo is awesome. There's several solos throughout the song. And I think that it's just one of the most archetypal psychedelic rock songs that you could possibly find from that period. Maybe something by Cream, maybe like Sunshine of Your Love by Cream, Strawberry Fields Forever by the Beatles. Um, but I think Voodoo Child's Slight Return tops all of them. But that's just my personal opinion. So put your own in the comments. I'm going to try to leave the comments open for this video in spite of there being a lot of a-holes on the internet. Number 29 on here is going to be a Bush song. It's going to be Little Things That Kill. It's all the little things that kill. I think that this song is probably about dealing with some sort of drug addiction and having to go back, and it being these little things, like an individual bit of drugs that's giving him a hard time from his independence and from his sobriety. Or maybe it could be about a relationship. It could be all of the snippy, kind of biting comments that the other person makes towards them are the things that really hurt their feelings in the end. Alt rock, it's kind of hard to decipher the lyrics. But if you have your own interpretation of what this fantastic Bush song is about, then, drop me a line. Number 30 on here is going to be going back a little bit towards kind of a folk rock type thing, which is America, and we're gonna actually pick Tin Man, not a more famous song like Horse with No Name or something. But yeah, I love Tin Man. I also love Ventura Highway. That could have very easily tied with this, but I didn't want to put a tie on every entry, obviously, you know. But I think that Tin Man is one of America's most smooth and well, it's one of their most smoothly flowing songs. Sorry to repeat that word, but yeah, I think that this song is probably the America song I would recommend to you if you were just checking the band out. Number 31 on here is going to be a Cream song, and that's going to be the live version of Spoonful. I think that Ginger Baker's drum solo on here, he's drumming like an inflatable dancing man on crack, and it's just I think that Jack Bruce also sings fantastically. Um, Clapton doesn't really display much emotion, but his guitar playing is fantastic. It looks like he just kind of woke up halfway through the song. He's just like, huh? Oh, he's. It's like he just realized he was playing guitar halfway through the 8 minute long fucking song. Number let's check the clock again. I already explained why. Um, let's check what number 32 is going to be, which is a Black Sabbath song, and it's going to be another tie between Planet Caravan and Into the Void. Very very mellow song is the first one in terms of Black Sabbath criteria. This is not, a heavy demonic plotting like power chord type song, like with the heaviness of like an AC/DC song, for example. One of their this is one of their softer songs, Planet Caravan. It's got a lot of reverb in it too. And Into the Void, I think, is one of those songs that again is an awesome song to smoke to. Number 33 on here. Sorry if there's any background noise. But number 33 on this list is actually going to be an Alice in Chains song, and that's going to be Man in the Box. I think that I first heard this song, I heard a permutation of it as Tommy Dreamer, the ECW wrestler's theme music. They didn't have the exact licensed copyright song, but they had something that was like basically based on the riff. And I think that Lane Staley's vocals are amazing. He's my favorite grunge singer. And I think that Jerry Cantrell is also fantastic. His guitar never leaves me wanting more, you know? I think that Man in the Box, lyrically, again, it's another one that's kind of hard to decipher, but it also kind of leaves you feeling like almost like you've just listened to a heavy metal song, even though they generally have a softer song, almost like a grunge version of a band like Pink Floyd or something. I think there's a little bit more depth and experimentality to Alice in Chains than there is to a band like Nirvana that just kind of plays heavy almost every time. There's a few acoustic songs, but they also have, speaking of which, they also have a fantastic unplugged concert, maybe the best MTV unplugged concert. Um, I'm going to stop here. Uh, we'll get on to part 4 at a later time. Thank you guys for watching. I love you all because you're you. Peace out.